Welcome back to Just Keeping It Real with your girl Charlotte, the one and only. So, I wanted to get on briefly and kind of let you guys hear some of Micah Parsons' thoughts that he's been having in regards to the media, how the media, as well as different announcers, I could say, have been displaying the Cowboys versus other teams, right? And it's definitely a distinction between our Cowboys team and other teams that are loved, okay? So the teams that are loved that you know in the NFL are normally like the 49ers, right? Great quarterback, great team, right? um in the media's eyes, right? um the Eagles is another team, great team in the media's eyes, right? They could do no wrong. The Bengals are another one that could do no wrong, great team, great quarterback. Oh, he's just amazing, he's just this. But I see reports that's always dissing my quarterback, Dak, and like he's trash, he's mediocre, he's this, he's that. But we've been having winning records. Hello? We've been having winning records for a reason. Now, nobody understands more than I do that it's been 28 years since we won the championship. Those of you haters out there, whatever, I give you that, right? I'll give you that. But that just isn't because of Dak, okay? And our team is basically rebuilding. And so now we have key components. And are we going to win every game? Probably not. Do I hope and want us to do better going into this championship season? Of course I do, right? But it's not fair to tarnish someone's reputation and their character by calling them trash. Because a lot of what Dak does, a lot of you people out here in media land, you couldn't do. You couldn't even um, do a third of what he does every day. Did you lose your mom? Did you lose your brother? Your mom to cancer? Lose your brother to suicide? Did you lose your grandmother? Did you have a season injury like he had that he had to get multiple surgeries for? Did you have any of that and still came back and only missed 5 games? Which one of you could have done that and still be resilient? So I'm gonna need y'all to have the same energy. I'm gonna need you to have the same energy. It's funny how we went against the Jets, and the Jets were the weakest team. We should have beat them because they're the lowest on the totem pole, as it were, right? But now this past weekend, the Jets go against the Eagles and they lose. The Eagles lose. Now the Jets is a great team. Their defense is amazing. And da 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 da. Keep the same energy, please. Keep the same energy. So I'm really glad that Micah Parsons stepped up and said what he had to say. And a lot of people are talking about Micah Parsons' podcast and they wish he wouldn't do this during the season and all that. I think this is needed. I think this is what the Cowboys been needing, is for somebody on their team that knows the ins and outs about football to speak on it. And I'm glad you speaking on it, Micah. Keep it up. Because one thing Micah doesn't do is mince his words. And I could appreciate that as a person that's going to keep it real. Isn't this just keeping it real? It is. So as a person that loves to keep it real, real, recognize real. So Micah, good job. Then let's get to the Browns. The Browns were a weak team, da 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 da, right? But then the 49ers got defeated by the Browns. So now, you know, oh, they a pretty good team in all of this. Like, it was a few teams other than my team, of course, that I was looking at in the off season, and I was just like, okay, they probably could be great. One of those were the Browns, right? Because I saw some of the pieces they were coming together with. I was really hoping for the Broncos as well, you know, because that's my guy, you know, and I was hoping that my guy would get it together with the Broncos. But I'm seeing a coaching situation with the Broncos now that I don't know if it could be rectified, to be honest with you. Um, and I was also rooting for my boy Justin with Chicago, with the Chicago Bears as well, because I really seen them on the up and up. And then the other team that I was looking at was Washington. And I said, Washington, they got a good defense. They got a good offense too. I could see them, coming up in the standings. And that's very important to our team because we're in the same division, right? So I was just like, okay. So not only do I watch the Cowboys, I watch football on a whole because I want to see who's coming up with us, who we might need to go against and whatnot. And so I watch football all the time for that same reason, because I want to see what our competition is basically. And so those were the teams that I was really looking at. I said, Browns are going to be dangerous. Oh, let me also mention the Colts. The Colts were also one I was looking at. The Colts, the Browns, and then I saw a team. I saw the Saints, but the Saints have fallen off to me. But there were ones I was kind of looking at. I saw a couple games, pre games, and I was just like, oh, the Saints might be coming around, right? But definitely, I was looking at Washington, the Browns, Broncos, um, Chicago Bears. Those were ones that I was definitely looking at. But now I know Justin is hurt. Um, and it's some other people that's hurt. Also on the 49ers and, some other teams. I know Eagles got some people hurt as well. I know we have some people that are, hurt on our team. We're really missing Diggs completely. I know I'm kind of going all over the place, you guys, but I'm trying to get all my thoughts out. So bear with me. But we're really missing Diggs too, but we had a lot of guys to step up, like Curse is stepping up, Bland is stepping up. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy about our production and whatnot. So the moral of this story is you guys need to stop coming at our Cowboys because we have had winning records. So it's never okay to come at a team that has had winning records, more top scoring records than a lot of these football teams out here, and then you call our quarterback trash. Disrespectful, completely disrespectful, and not okay. And it's crazy because I was just talking to someone yesterday because this past game, the past when we played against the 49ers, right? I get it. It's a lot of y'all that's 49er fans. Great. Okay. At one point, I used to like the 49ers when it was Jerry Rice, Montana, Steve Young. Yeah, that was my crew back in the day, right? So I started off as a Dallas Cowboy fan, and then I got into the 49ers later on. And those were like really my two favorite teams. And then I started liking the Titans as well. Um, because of George. I loved him on that team. But needless to say, it has been a battle between the Cowboys and the 49ers, right? But yet and still, I don't hate any team. I don't. Now, as a Cowboys fan, you can't like be loving on the 49ers. You can't be loving on the Packers. It's just certain teams that we've had, animosity with over the years, right? But at the same time, if you're a fan of all those teams, I respect you, right? I don't take it personal that you like those teams. I have girlfriends that are so into the 49ers, so into the Steelers, and all these other, you know, um, football teams. We respect each other. They knew where I'm coming from. I know where they coming from and whatnot. I don't talk about their team in front of them or whatever. You know what I mean? But anyway, what I noticed though is that it's hate coming towards the Cowboys all over the place, right? I get online, I post something like, even though my team lost, you know, I'm Cowboys for life, right? When I tell you I get all kind of comments underneath my post, your quarterback is trash. This one is trash. Micah Parsons is not showing up. This one is trash. That one is trash. It's just like the negativity is to an all-time high. And I'm going to need that to stop for my team. I'm not giving you that negativity with your team. I'm going to need you not to give it to me with my team. Because at the end of the day, let's be clear, okay? Real recognize real. This is just keeping it real, right? So we're going to keep it real. At the end of the day, none of your comments, nothing you got to say is going to stop me from being a Dallas Cowboy fan. Okay? I've been a Dallas Cowboy fan since I was 2 years old. I'm 47. It's not going to stop me. So you could give it up with your little comments and trying to sway me either way, because I'm not swaying either way. I'm going to be a Cowboy fan for life. And that's not just, me just saying something. I'm going to be a fan for life. If I could be for 28 years without us winning a championship and I'm still holding on to my Cowboys, I can continue to do that. So, all of you fake Cowboy fans that's out here throwing your jerseys in the trash, burning up your jerseys, burning up your Cowboys, hats, whatever. You's a fake Cowboy fan. That ain't what a diehard real Cowboy fan does. And that is what I am. And I'm sticking it with my team through thick and thin. That's what a real fan does. So, needless to say, the ones of you that you know who you are, that was throwing your jersey away, burning them up and all that, keep it. We don't need you. We don't need you. The ones of you that said that you're switching from other teams, switching from the Cowboys to other teams, yeah, LeBron, talking about you. You can stay with that other team. We don't need you as a Cowboy fan. We don't need those Cowboy fans that want to just jump on the bandwagon when we winning. We need Cowboy fans that's real. Always, and sticking with us, sticking with our quarterback, not disrespecting or any of that. Otherwise, you're not a real Cowboy fan. So you go to the other teams because we don't need you over here. Bottom line. So let's go on and get into what Micah Parsons was saying.
You do things the right way, and it's just always amazing to see. Um, you know, I want to talk about the 49ers and the Eagles both lost last week, so now there are no more undefeated teams left. And let's just talk about those losses in depth, because I want to say why they're not important, but they're very important, especially because what we talked about on this thing and how y'all portray the Dallas Cowboys and how the media portrays the Dallas Cowboys. Because I got time today, so let's get into it. And I heard Joy Taylor. I heard other
Facts,
people.
facts upon
They said we
facts.
did have a
Let's
significant
get
win.
into it,
They said we
Micah.
beat a nameless Zach Wilson, or a team without Aaron Rodgers,
Mm-hmm.
and all these things. But guess what? One thing that we did have, that they just did have, was Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, and they were also missing a few other pieces, and they were missing Aaron Rodgers. But they beat the Eagles. But apparently the Jets aren't a significant win. They aren't a good team without Aaron Rodgers, which I said wasn't true. And I'm glad that Zach Wilson is proving people wrong. He just beat a great Eagles team. Now the Jets are 3-3. They're putting themselves in a position to say, hey, Aaron's throwing now, and we have the pull up of Aaron throwing the ball now. Let's bring that up. Aaron's throwing the ball now. If his Achilles can heal, I think that Aaron has a chance to come back in late January and have a chance to make a playoff run. If they can find a way to go 9-7 and become a 7-6 seed, or they come 10-7, like whatever it is, they have a chance for Aaron Rodgers to come back and make a run for the Super Bowl and a high playoff chance, without a doubt. But I just don't condone the bashing of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
Speak on
had
it.
the same energy for the Eagles.
That part.
The Eagles were healthy. They had Jalen Hurts. They had the receiving core. They had their explosive weapon. They didn't have Lane Johnson. I will admit that they didn't have Lane Johnson. But does that make that big of a difference? Because I see my quarterback, maybe not have the red zone success, but move the ball way better than the Eagles did Sunday night. So we want the same energy for everybody.
Same
There's
energy.
A whole bunch of bashing when it's Dak Prescott.
Whole
but not
bunch.
the same when it's the Eagles.
Absolutely.
I got time today.
We got time.
A lot of people said the Browns defense was overhyped. Everyone said, Micah don't know ball. I said, the Browns are the real deal. If they could put it together, they could be a hard team to beat. And now I can say it. We miss my guy, who we miss very much.
Coop.
Balled the hell out.
Coop. We miss you, Coop.
What he did to help lead his team over the 49ers was amazing. That catch was spectacular. The Browns, and I heard a quote. Acho said this, which pissed me off. He said, I'm not worried about the 49ers. They were missing Christian McCaffrey. They were missing Deebo Samuel. This will piss me off about that, okay? They started that game. The Browns were missing Deshaun Watson. They were missing Nick Chubb. They were missing Jack Collins. They were missing them key factors before the game even started. So why is it that we are just scrubs and we're nobodies that don't deserve to be on the field and we're just all talk? But there's 100 excuses for these other teams. Like, if y'all just want to hate Cowboys Nation, just say y'all hate Cowboys Nation.
Facts.
But don't sit here and throw shade on us. Keep the same energy for everybody.
Keep the same energy.
The Browns is a good team. They are going to continue to progressing and being a great team. I don't know if we have the stat line, but bring it up. I think they gave up over 1,000, their third best in a 6-game span. It's like 1,000 some yards. I saw that statistic. Like, that's amazing defense. This Browns defense is a real deal. I said they can put it together. They have all the pieces. They have Myles Garrett. Denzel Ward. They still have Greg Delpit, Martin Emerson. Like, I'm gonna just keep going about this Browns defense that I see that a lot of people are stepping on. If their offense could get it together,
we just keeping it real with Micah Parsons, you guys.
Week 1, everything I said
straight from his mouth.
And say, unlike these other analysts who don't want to do their job and just say players trash or they're bad at football, which isn't true. If you're in the NFL, you're a good football player. I'm never going to get on this and say you're bad at football. Okay, let's just put like these analysts are.
How you gonna be bad at your profession?
Look at football.
Make it make sense.
But I will, and we're gonna go through the breakdowns and do the real talking. Everything that caused since week 1 have not failed and has been true. And I just calling out I just want the same energy for everybody, because people, I feel like those analysts are failing you. Okay? Now so now we should look at the Jets now. Okay? The Jets have a chance to be a really good team. Okay? They just beat the undefeated Eagles, which people said was impossible to do.
That part.
And the significant part is that I think that's great about the Jets is they lost Sauce, they lost their DJ Reed, they're without Aaron Rodgers, but they're saying if we could beat the best team, I don't know what more of a confidence booster. What was it? 3 picks and they had a forced fumble in that game. They're saying if we could beat the best team in the NFL, which people say, right? And we're doing this without our star players.
One other thing I wanted to mention too. You notice how Micah was saying that Jalen Hurts had the picks and the fumbles and all of those type of things. Okay, well, they act in the media like Dak is the only one that has thrown picks, has caused interceptions. When the truth of the matter is Dak is at the least amount of picks. I think this year he's thrown maybe 4. His last game against the Chargers, he had no picks, no interceptions, right? But nobody wants to talk on that. But every time you hear in the media, like, oh, I was just hearing the other day, they were talking about that play that coach had called and he went ahead and did the field goal instead of letting Dak run it all the way in. Oh, look, that just proves that he doesn't trust his quarterback and he thinks that Dak is going to throw a pick, and oh, this just proves that um he doesn't trust his wide receivers. It's always all of that negative and those excuses when it comes to us, right? Oh, I'm sorry. When it comes to other teams, there's a lot of excuses. When it comes to us, it's all a hate. Okay? And so we need the same energy. Just like Micah is saying, we need the same energy. We're gonna need y'all to be truthful with it. Okay. Are you guys talking about the fact that Jalen had, what was it, 6 interceptions last year or 6 picks? And now he's at what, 7 or 8? Are you guys mentioning that? How about Justin Herbert? How about the Raiders quarterback, Garoppolo? Are you guys talking about that? I mean, it's a lot of different quarterbacks that's throwing picks and throwing interceptions and whatnot, but it's not being talked about. The only person that act like is the poster face for picks and interceptions is Dak, and that's just not true. So let's get into it.
How special can we really be? And that's a significant part about adversity and the next man up mentality. And that's the part that a lot of people don't want to talk about in football. In life, think about in life, all right? If you get punched in the face, right? Okay, you get punched in the face. How do you react after you get punched in the face? Like
That
if you lose
part.
your job, do you say, "Oh my gosh, I lost my job, like I can't move on," or do you say, "Oh, I gotta go start applying. I gotta get back on my feet. I gotta find a new job. I gotta like." That's important into how great they want to be. The leadership that's in the Jets locker room is amazing, and I'm loving to see it. Like I said, I hope the best for the Jets because everyone trashed on them. Everyone trashed on Zach, and I'm loving the turnaround. I'm loving it because before when we beat them, it was like they're nobodies. Who cares? Especially after they beat the Bills on what was that, Sunday night or Monday night, the first week. So I'm loving to see it. I'm sorry, you guys. Do not pay attention to these trash analysts who just.
That was another quarterback that I was trying to think of, Josh, with the Bills. He's had a lot of interceptions, a lot of thrown a lot of picks, fumbles, you name it. It's not even talked about.
Come out there and rant after one game. And I'm not even saying the 49ers should have won the game. They had a chance to win the game. But I'm saying the Browns defense is a real deal. This is a special team that they are building. They still don't have Deshaun Watson. They're still missing their 2 all-pro players. So it's special to see. And I'm just calling out the BS because I'm tired of people trashing my quarterback. I'm tired of people trashing my team. And that's why I had nothing to say to the media this week. I just wanted us to say, you want to hear me talk? Come to hear me talk on the Edge Monday night. And that's just what it's going to be. Because I have nothing to say, because if you're just going to take one game and say, this is who I am, then I have nothing to say to you. Because in life, that's just not how it is.
That part.
And that's point blank period. Not one moment in your life will ever define you. You have the next day. You have a beautiful opportunity. That day will end. And if you're blessed enough,
Just keeping it
you're blessed
real
enough to
with
wake
Micah
up the next day,
Parsons once
then
again.
you have a chance to redeem yourself. You have a chance to get better. You have a chance to learn. So just take that lesson just take that lesson, chat. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm glad we can move on from that. Because I'm just tired of the disrespect, and that's just point
I'm
blank
tired of
period.
it too.
And I'm tired, and I want y'all to get the full